Working even for big money will never make you free. That is the brutal truth about hard work. And chances are, you know exactly what kind of situation Kevin found himself in. He finally got a major raise, but 3 months later, his bank account looks like he just got robbed. The extra money completely vanished, not because he went on a wild shopping spree, and not because he forgot to save. Something much more dangerous is happening in the dark. A structural trap built into daily life that your boss never wants you to figure out. If you've ever worked longer and harder, only to wonder why you're still stressed about rent, you probably want to know not just why this happens, but how to turn the tables completely in your favor. Most people will tell you that wealth is a speed problem. They say, work harder, earn more, and your money stress will die. So Kevin started running faster. He took on more hours, grabbed a better job title, and chased the next promotion. And guess what? The money came. More dollars than he had ever seen. But there was a catch. The money left his pocket at the exact same speed it arrived. Why? Because Kevin didn't realize that the speed doesn't matter if you're running on a machine built to keep you in place. He was trapped on a financial treadmill. But who is driving the treadmill? The answer lies in a hidden contract Kevin signed years ago without ever reading it. Here is the invisible deal Kevin signed the day he entered the workforce. He gives his limited energy, and he gets a piece of paper called a paycheck. If he wants more paper, he has to give more of his life. Sounds completely fair, right? Except for one fatal flaw built into the system from day one. Time has a hard ceiling. Kevin gets 24 hours. His billionaire boss gets 24 hours. The richest person on earth gets 24 hours. No matter how smart Kevin is, he cannot manufacture a 25th hour. The second Kevin stops moving his hands, the money instantly stops flowing. This isn't a spending trap or a savings trap. It is a structure trap. And it gets worse, because this specific trap has a brutal way of growing heavier the more successful Kevin becomes. Look at Kevin's calendar. Monday to Friday belongs to his company. Evenings are spent just recovering from the stress. Weekends are used to fix his car, buy groceries, and prepare for another Monday. He has zero time left to build anything of his own. And here is how the trap locks its jaws. As Kevin's salary grows, his lifestyle naturally expands to match it. A slightly bigger apartment, a nicer car loan, a few more monthly subscriptions. On paper, his paycheck is bigger. In reality, the gap between his current income and total freedom hasn't moved a single inch. Kevin is incredibly busy, highly productive, and completely stuck in place. To break out, he needs to understand a hidden division of money that wealthy people use every day, and it has nothing to do with budgets. There are two kinds of income in this world, and choosing the wrong one keeps you poor forever. The first is active income. You show up, you get paid. You get sick or take a vacation, the money stops. That is a standard salary, freelance, or consulting. It's the exact same trap, just with a different title on your business card. The second kind is passive income. This is money generated by something you built or bought once, which keeps working while you sleep. Think rental property, investments, automated businesses, or digital assets. You stop working, but the money doesn't care. It keeps coming. Kevin's problem? 100% of his life depended on active income. If he didn't show up, his financial world collapsed. That isn't a wealth plan, it's a high-stakes survival game. But how do you actually start building the other side if you have no money to buy a building? The answer is found in how you define what you own. Wealthy people collect assets. An asset is very simple. It puts money into your pocket without you working for it. Stocks give you dividends, property gives you rent, a system gives you profit. Most people, however, spend their lives collecting liabilities, things that look like wealth, but actively suck money out of their pockets every month. Think car payments, expensive gear, and endless subscriptions. Kevin looked at his life and did some honest math. Assets? Absolutely zero. Liabilities? a long, heavy list. He had a great title and a high salary, but he owned nothing that worked for him. And that is the exact line where earning ends and real building begins. But what does this look like over 10 years? The math is terrifying. Look at these two lines on the graph. Person A relies 100% on their salary. It grows slowly, hits a flat plateau around middle age, and forces them to depend on that job until they are old. Now look at person B. They start with the exact same salary, but they immediately start building small assets. For the first few years, their lines look completely identical. You wouldn't notice a difference. But around year 8 or 10, a quiet miracle happens. The asset line starts curving upward on its own. Eventually, there is a specific moment where that passive line completely covers their living expenses. That line has a real name: financial freedom. It's not a fake dream and it's not retirement. It is a mathematical crossover point. Kevin never knew this point existed because nobody ever drew that second line for him. Quick pause here. If this concept is finally clicking for you, hit that like button right now. It helps Kevin's story break through the noise and reach more people who are exhausted from the rat race. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Because right now, we are crossing over to the part most channels completely skip. The exact, real-world moves Kevin used to start drawing that second line without quitting his day job. Kevin started his escape plan with a single mental shift. He decided that every single dollar entering his life had to be split into 3 strict buckets. Bucket number 1 is expenses, the bare minimum code to keep him alive and housed. Bucket number 2 is savings, his emergency shield, holding 3 to 6 months of expenses completely untouched. And bucket number 3 is assets. This is the bucket that breaks the spell. Even if Kevin could only put $50 or $100 a month into bucket 3, it meant his asset number was no longer 0. Because 0 is the only number that guarantees you will never be allowed to stop running. But what can you actually buy for $100 that creates wealth? Here are 3 starting points that Kevin used, which require almost 0 time and very little money. First, index funds. He set up an automatic transfer every single month. The global market does the heavy lifting, and Kevin does absolutely nothing. Second, digital products. Kevin took a skill he already used at work, turned it into a simple guide and template once, and let it sell online while he was asleep. Third, dividend stocks. He bought shares in stable companies that literally pay cash rewards just for holding them. None of these things replaced his day job in week 1, but all of them started feeding that second line on his graph, the line that is quietly building momentum to cross over. Kevin did not wake up rich the next morning. He didn't drop his resignation letter on his boss's desk, and he didn't discover some magical internet loophole. He just made a choice to stop pouring 100% of his life into someone else's machine, and started redirection a small piece of his energy into a seed that grows on its own. Right now, his financial tree is tiny, but seeds that are actually planted have a funny habit of growing into forests. Seeds left in the pocket stay dead forever. The only question left is, when are you going to drop yours into the ground? Next week, Kevin faces the darkest side of money, the invisible poor taxes built into daily life. It's a set of hidden psychological and financial traps that quietly steal up to 30% of your paycheck every single week, even if you think you're doing everything right and saving money. If you are working hard, but feel like you're constantly swimming against a hidden current, you cannot afford to miss this. Subscribe and turn on notifications right now so you don't miss the reveal. And if you have a friend who is exhausted from running on that salary treadmill, send them this video. It might be the turning point they've been waiting for.